Today, I want to teach you 20 different nouns to help you describe people. And these nouns would describe somebody's, their profession or their personality or even their characteristics. So as I go through and we talk about these nouns, again, I want you to try to associate these words with a person that you know. Which person do you think of when I tell you the meaning of these nouns? Try to do that because that is going to help you better remember the meaning. So let's begin with profession. Maybe somebody's job, what they do for work, or maybe even a position that they have for their work. And we will begin with the noun amateur. And if you say that someone is an amateur, it means that they do some type of hobby or activity for fun. They are not a professional. This is not how they make a living. They don't typically get paid for it. And you could say that he or she is an amateur. The next noun is a tutor. Now, this noun, it's talking about education because it's a person who will help a child study outside of school in order to give them extra help. And you would say that this person is a tutor, maybe in math, in science, even in English. Anybody could have a tutor. Mostly we're talking about children, but it could be a high school student, a university student, even an adult could have a tutor if they want extra help. Now, let's stick with education, and the next noun is a scholar. This is talking about a person who studies a subject in great detail, especially in university. And if they study it for a long time and they know it very well, you could say that they are a scholar.
Amy is a decorated scholar. She forged a successful career in journalism.
Jimmy's met a new young lady.
Brenda, she's really something. Rhodes Scholar.
Impressive.
Well. Quite a scholar, I see. Look, Kitty, a man of letters. Is your book?
The next noun is, it's actually two nouns that mean the same thing, and that is big fish, or you could say a big wig. And in either case, it's talking about a person who is powerful and important, and it usually refers to a position within a company. And maybe you're talking about the boss, and they are the big wig, or perhaps somebody else in the company, and you say, wow, this person, they're a big fish, all right? They're a very important, influential, and powerful person, a big fish or a big wig.
Well, Lois, I'm off to my first day as a corporate bigwig.
And we have information that a mobster by the name of Marco Ocha moved to Paris about 6 months ago. He's the one, he's a big fish.
Then we have the noun one's right hand. And if you're talking about, one's right hand, you're not really talking about the hand. You're talking about a person who supports someone else, usually at work. And you could say, he's my right hand, or she's my right hand. She's always helping me get stuff done, and she supports my work. One's right hand. You may also use this as, another noun, and people might say, a right-hand man. And if somebody is like the right-hand man, then that is the person who would help somebody else, especially at their work, a right-hand man. Then we have the word Why am I having such trouble with this word? Then we have the word valedictorian. And this is talking about the person, really the student, who has the highest grades at the end of high school. So when high school finishes, the person with the highest grades, that person is the valedictorian. And typically they will give a speech at the graduating ceremony when school finishes. Now, I don't know if this is the same for all high schools all over the world, but especially in the United States, the person with the highest grades, they are called the valedictorian, and they would give a speech when at the graduating ceremony, valedictorian. And I'm having a very tough time saying that. I was not the valedictorian. That is okay. But it's a word that you may hear if you're watching a TV show or movie and they're talking about somebody who was very smart in high school. They did very well, and he or she was the valedictorian. Valedictorian, yes.
Right now, I'm the best student. I'm gonna be the velociraptor.
You trying to say valedictorian?
Now let's talk about nouns that are related to someone's personality, kind of talking about the type of person that they are. So you could say that somebody is a dilettante, and this is talking about a person who is very interested in a subject, but doesn't really have a deep understanding of it. And I think all of us can relate to this, that we might be interested in some area of study or something in general, whether it's cars, fashion, computers, and we know about it because we're interested in it, but we don't really have a deep understanding because, well, maybe it's not our job. And you could say that we are just dilettantes in that regard. So, for example, maybe somebody, they're very interested in politics, and you could say they are a political dilettante. They're interested in learning about it, but it's not their job, and they don't have a very deep understanding of it, dilettante. Then we have the noun aficionado, and this is actually a Spanish word that means fan, but an aficionado is a person who is very interested and enthusiastic in learning about some topic. And you'd say, wow, I am really a soccer aficionado. I love it. Or I am a cigar aficionado. There's actually a magazine about cigars called Aficionado. And I could say that all of you are vocabulary aficionados because you are interested and enthusiastic about learning new words and phrases. And you are not dilettantes because you have a deeper understanding of these words. You're an aficionado. Then we have the word confidant. And if you say that somebody is a confidant, it is a person that you really trust and you are willing to share your feelings and secrets with that person. You could say that he is my confidant, that he is the person that I will tell secrets to. Or for me, I'd really say my wife, she is my confidant. If I have some problems, some secrets, and I just need to tell somebody, I need some help, she is my confidant and I will tell her. Maybe not all the secrets, but most of them.
You need to choose her to be your vice presidential candidate.
No. I chose you as a trusted confidant.
A confidant of mine has told me that when he goes, Sansa Stark goes with him.
Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
Then we have the noun proponent, and this is talking about a person who speaks publicly in support of some plan or action, and you might often follow this word with the preposition of, that he is a proponent of some issue. She is a proponent of saving the dolphins, that she wants to publicly support it and talk to others about it. She's a proponent of saving the dolphins. I think all of us are probably a proponent of something. If you think about something that you believe in, that you want to support, then you could say you are a proponent of this thing. The next noun I have for you is a guru. And a guru it's more of a spiritual leader if you're thinking about like Hinduism, but it's also somebody who is kind of a teacher as well. And you may hear this word used in that context. It makes me think of somebody who is wise and very spiritual, and they want to help others and teach others, and you could say that they are a guru. Then we have the noun gourmet. And if somebody is a gourmet, then it means that they know a lot about food. They're very knowledgeable about food, and they typically like to eat fancy and expensive food, and this person is a gourmet.
I like it better than tuna helper myself. Don't you, Clark?
You're the gourmet around here, Ed.
What else did Lance tell you about me?
You're a real gourmet.
Oh, yeah?
These sandwiches are delicious, Mrs. Elton. You really are a gourmet.
Next is the noun humanitarian. And if you say that somebody is a humanitarian, it means that they are interested in helping other people, especially people who may be suffering in some way. And they may be donating money, donating clothes. They are involved in some type of activity. And you could say, well, this person, they're a great person. They're a humanitarian. Personally, I think all of us should be humanitarians, and we should try to give back and help others who are in need. Now let's talk about nouns that pretty much refer to people's characteristics, their emotions, their behaviors. And you could say that somebody is, well, a coward. And this is, well, it's not good to be called a coward because it's talking about a person who is typically afraid of a lot of things. They're very scared. Somebody who is not brave, you could say that this person is a coward. We could also say that someone is an introvert. And if somebody is an introvert, it means that they are not very social. They're often quiet, a bit reserved. They typically may like to be left alone and have time to themselves. And you could say that this person is an introvert. Now, the opposite of an introvert is an extrovert. And this is somebody who, well, is very social. They like to go out a lot. They like to meet all different types of people. And typically they're very talkative. And you would say that they are an extrovert. I think if you were to think of yourself, like, for example, I think I can be both. Sometimes I am more of an introvert. And other times I might be more of an extrovert and I like to go out and try to meet people and I'm a little more social. Introvert and extrovert.
Zelda was the sunny, fun-loving extrovert.
Look at my pumpkin, Mr. Peanut Butter.
Whereas Zoe was the smart, cynical introvert.
My pumpkin's throwing up because Halloween encourages excessive consumption of refined sugar at a time when obesity rates are sky high.
Then we have the noun perfectionist. And if you say that somebody is a perfectionist, it means that this person thinks that, well, everything needs to be perfect, that they will not stop until they believe everything is perfect, and you would say that he or she is a perfectionist. Now, a noun that is a little similar to that, but it's still different, would be someone who is a purist. And if you describe someone as a purist, it means that this person believes that things should be done in the traditional way, that we should follow the rules, we shouldn't do them in some other way, follow tradition, and you could describe this person and say that they are a purist.
Triple twist! Nice work!
You sure this was done by hand?
Yeah, she's a real purist.
Hate those guys. As a Sesame Street purist, I don't think Elmo usually tells passing women that they have a sweet dumper.
Repeat visitor. Traveling solo? Purist. Getting off on the undiluted experience.
And then we have the noun whizz. And if you describe somebody and say that, well, this person, they are a whiz, it means that they are highly intelligent and very smart in some area or some expertise. For example, you could say that somebody is a math whiz. They're very good at math. They're very intelligent when it comes to math. They're a math whiz. I could say that, all of you are a vocabulary whiz. You are watching these lessons, you're learning new words and phrases, and it's going to help you improve your overall English fluency. You are a vocabulary whiz. So again, the best way to remember the meaning of these different nouns is to think of somebody you know. When I say the noun humanitarian, which person in your life do you think of? If I say introvert, who do you know who's an introvert? Or who do you know who is an extrovert? And when you're able to think of that person because you know their position, you know their personality, you know their characteristic, that is going to help you remember the meaning of these words. So I'm going to end it right there. I really hope you learn some new nouns, and I will see you next time.